Greetings of peace and prosperity, everyone. We are Group 2 from Grade 11 Assembly presenting our research. My name is John Wright Atong, the representative of the group, and together with me is Ms. Maria Abigail Balbeta, Ms. Princess Judea Calera, Mr. Jonathan Cruz, Mr. Kenji Habonero, Ms. Julian Jaime Menes, Ms. Shane Vera, Mr. Carl Pacardo, and Mr. Villas.
For our title, which is entitled Transitioning to the Online Environment, Insights of TUP Engineering Students in the Implementation of Distance Learning.
For the respondents of our research, this study focused on the responses of 15 male and female students of Technological University of the Philippines in Taguig campus who are currently taking engineering.
The aim of this study is to get the insights of selected TUP engineering students regarding the implementation of distance learning in response with the current pandemic.
What are the struggles encountered by the respondents due to the sudden implementation of distance learning? The themes for this question were derived and represented by the coded responses of participants when they were asked about their struggles encountered due to the sudden implementation of distance learning, on which 5 major themes are supported and visible on the analysis. These are weak internet connection for 8 students, lack of equipment and devices for 1 student, workplace for 2 students, financial issues for 1 student, and health issues for 3 students. Now let's proceed to the second question with the summary of the findings.
The second question: what are the coping mechanisms do TUP students use to minimize stress? The theme made for this question were derived from the coded responses of the participants when they were asked about their coping mechanism to minimize stress in distance learning. It shows that there were 7 major themes which emerged from the analysis. These are 4 students for sleeping, 1 student for reading books, 2 students for watching, 2 students for exercising, 2 students for online videoke, 2 students for talking with classmates, and 2 students for playing online games. Okay, let's proceed for the third question of the summary of the findings.
What is the perspective of the research regarding the competencies gained in a distance learning delivery? The themes for this question are demonstrated by the coded responses of the participants in terms of their perceptions regarding competencies that they gained in a distance learning delivery. 3 major themes are vividly emerging and expressed for this analysis. These are 6 students for inefficient learning styles, 5 for inadequate knowledge, and 4 students for enhanced technical skills. Now, let's proceed for the second question with the summary of the findings.
What is the impression of the respondents regarding the implementation of distance learning in TUP? The themes made for this question were derived from the coded responses of the participants when they were asked about their impression regarding the implementation of distance learning in TUP. It shows that there were 4 major themes which emerged from the analysis. These are sad for 6 students, disappointed for 5 students, shocked for 3 students, and anxious for 1 student. Now let's proceed to the last question with the summary of the findings.
Number 5. What aspect of the school's program in this new learning setup that is to be improved as perceived by the respondents? The themes for this question are demonstrated by the coded responses of participants when they were asked about the aspect of the school's program in this new learning setup that needs to be improved. 5 major themes are vividly emerging and expressed for this analysis. These are teaching style for 2 students, signing of schoolwork during break for 5 students, laboratory activities for 3 students, lack of equipment and devices for 4 students, and webinars for 1 student.
Based on the findings of this study, the following conclusions are drawn. Number 1. The TUP engineering students have faced numerous challenges as a result of the unexpected implementation of distance learning, including a poor internet connection, a lack of equipment and devices, workplace, financial issues, and health issues.
Number 2, sleeping, reading books, watching, exercising, online videoke, talking with classmates, and playing online games are the coping mechanisms used by TUP engineering students to minimize stress in this online environment.
For the third conclusion, one of the reasons why competencies are not fully achieved in the distance learning delivery is because of inefficient learning styles and inadequate knowledge. However, improved technical skills have been gained in the delivery of distance learning.
Number 4. The sudden implementation of distance learning had brought negative impression to the students, including sad, disappointed, shocked, and anxious.
Number 5, there are many aspects of the school's program that is needed to be improved in this new learning environment, including the teaching styles, assigning of schoolwork during breaks, laboratory activities, lack of equipment and devices, and webinars.
The following recommendations made for this research are suggested by the researchers based on the findings that are made in the study. The first one, the CHED or the Commission on Higher Education should allow and conduct limited face-to-face classes for engineering students in order to collaboratively engage students in terms of teaching them enhance their skills on laboratory sessions, design and make classes, and and technical knowledge rather than focusing on a fully online instruction. Moreover, they can also provide instructional learning devices to students to flexibly help them have more opportunity at school and also to adapt an online platform environment. The second one, the professors should provide an interactive learning and lively teaching mechanisms to innovatively enhance the presence of online learning to students and help them obtain the flexible productivity, interactivity, and proficiency that a learner should develop on the new learning setup. Furthermore, professors may also lessen their workload and consult with students to evaluate if the coursework is overwhelming.
For the third recommendation, the Office of Student Affairs in PUP should provide interactive activities such as online stress management program as a way of coping strategy in order to help students relieve stress and prevent further psychological consequences, especially when in the midst of pandemic, where mental health of teenagers are widely affected. For the fourth and last recommendation, it is recommended for the future researchers to search for more viable studies relative to this research on a much broader perspective and geographical environment. Hence, conducting a study on a highly and largely scale can also increase the validity of this research and other related studies as to achieve a more developed and highly institutionalized LMS or learning management system for different engineering courses.